The Solitaire series, episode 26, The Queen of Clubs, by Troy Lambert. Narrated by Troy Lambert. Behind every badass man is a woman who does one of two things. Either she turns him into a more badass man, or she mellows him out when he needs it. An extraordinary woman can do both. Dahlia walked into the jewelry store on Village Center Circle. The gorgeous young blonde behind the counter greeted her. "Good morning, Miss Millward. Great to see you again. How can I help you?" The girl was new, which in this store meant she'd been here less than 2 years. Many of the jewelers and even counter people had been here well over a decade, the old man in the back, since the store opened in the early 1970s. "Good morning, darling. I have a party to attend, and I need some very special jewelry." "Of course." The girl's face brightened. Dahlia knew why. The girl knew she was going to make a sale, and it would be a large one. But Dahlia also knew the commission would probably not go to her. She walked to the counter anyway. "Bradford said he had something new." The girl brightened even further, if that was possible. "We do have a new line of diamonds, acquired carefully from Africa." Dahlia cut her off, but politely. "Thanks, darling. I know. And I do appreciate you trying to tell me more about them, but I have only a limited time." "Certainly." The new blonde moved to a phone and dialed a number. Dahlia saw her lips moving, but she couldn't hear what she said. "He'll be right out." The girl, Dahlia could not remember her name, moved to one of the other counters, straightening and cleaning the items in a case there. "Dahlia!" An enthusiastic man in a checkered suit, an eye-popping and grotesque purple and pink plaid that made her eyes hurt, rushed out of the back room. He was thin, too thin really, and wore thick, black-rimmed glasses. He didn't look like a man in his 60s, and his nerdy, flashy look also didn't give away his brilliance and skill. But he was both. He'd been in Vegas for a long time, one of the safest havens for a gay man in the 80s, when communities had either been fully accepting or openly hostile. There had been little middle ground at that time, and Bradford had found his home in this jewelry store. She often wondered if he ever left, or if he actually lived somewhere in the back. She'd invited him several times, but had never seen him at one of her husband's many parties. She knew the reason. He sold jewelry to everyone, in every organization, legitimate and illegitimate. He couldn't be seen taking sides. "Hey, gorgeous," she said. "Oh, you keep that gorgeous talk to yourself," he said. He leaned over the counter, and she leaned to meet him. He kissed her lightly on each cheek. "It's great to see you. Do you have something for me?" "I do," he said. "I actually designed a special piece for you. If you love it, I'll put the finishing touches on it." "I do have a special event coming up." "How soon?" 2 weeks. 2 weeks? That's an eternity for me. Let me grab my sketches." "Okay," she said. He disappeared and reappeared seconds later with a velvet cloth and a large piece of paper. He laid first the felt on the counter, and then lay the paper on top of it. Dahlia inhaled sharply. The design was gorgeous, a combination of gold and diamonds, and even mixed with a little onyx. "Can I see a sample of the gold?" "Sure," he said. There was a sparkle in his eyes. He knew he'd impressed her. Bradford disappeared for a second and reappeared again. Over one delicate hand he held a dangling gold chain, not too thick, but not thin either, just the kind she liked best. She took it carefully from him and laid it across the chocolate skin of her wrist next to a bracelet purchased here, one with a similar gold color, and several diamonds inset in an intricate pattern. Custom creations were the only way to go. She looked back at his sketch. The design showed 2 playing cards, both clubs, fanned like they were on a table. The top one was a queen, regal in design, a noble woman with sharp cheekbones and soft chin staring forward. The intricate detail in something that would be so small would be exquisite. "The eyes will be yellow diamonds," he told her. "White diamonds will make up the clubs, with an onyx in the center. Rubies will decorate the queen's dress, here, here, and here." He pointed, but she grabbed his hand as he did. "No, not rubies. Emeralds. Green, please." "Of course," he said, gripping her hand with his own. What will the pieces be? I figured a matching set, a pendant on a necklace, like this one, he said, flipping the paper over to another sketch, and a bracelet and earrings based on the same idea. I love it. Do it. I trust your artistry. The man smiled back at her, and Dahlia smiled back. The occasion she was purchasing this for was more special than he could know, but she didn't want to share it with him, or anyone, just yet. What she liked most was that the queen was over the ace in the design. The ace was in the background. It revealed the truth of her situation, a truth that would soon become evident to others as well, others who did not know her other than as an extension of her husband. It was a foolish myth, one she would be busting very soon. I'll get to work, darling, he told her, taking his hand away. Can I pick it up next Thursday? Of course, he said. She left, headed to her Mercedes in the parking lot, a convertible, and one of 3 vehicles that were hers, not Ace's. She could have had a driver, even more expensive cars. But she liked to drive, and she had her own taste in vehicles. Her husband thought he knew her tastes, everything about her. He was about to learn differently. Bradford headed for the back room as soon as she left. He picked up a phone and dialed a number. Do you have any hearts? A voice answered. Yes, he said. Number 7. Go fish. Queen of clubs. When? 2 weeks, he said, and hung up. You'll be the perfect one to find Jack, Ace told her. Cynthia, real name Janice, cover blown, sat in a plush chair that under other circumstances would have been comfortable. A polished expanse of walnut stretched between her and the man behind the desk. Behind him, a bank of monitors showed every location in what appeared to be a large casino. Every now and then, the images changed as one or more screens switched cameras. A couple showed the street outside, the boardwalk behind the building, the sidewalks on the side. I don't understand, she said. You know who I am? Who I really am? I do. You know who I work for. I know who you think you work for. The Nevada Gaming Commission, the FBI, and maybe someone else? The last part turned into a question. Janice ignored it. Despite all that, all you want me to do in exchange for my life is to find a guy named Jack? Janice knew him. She'd seen him once. Scars all over his right side, walked with a cane, kept his hat low and sunglasses on all the time. There was always a dog with him. A Doberman? She thought so. He'd been with Red Hat, the dude who'd thrown money at her outside. Where had she been? It didn't matter. Exhaustion struck her like a pillow, soft, comforting, and inspiring sleep. Ace smiled as he watched her process her situation. Yes, that is the deal. And if I don't find him? The man shrugged. You know the stakes. You have resources at your disposal. Use them. You don't... She stopped and looked him in the eyes. Steel gray. He didn't blink. There wasn't any kind of the twinkle the man she called Joker had while they played his game. Crazy eights. 2 men died. 3 walked out of the room. And she ended up here. The Joker told her she won. She wasn't sure that was true. He'd also said the game was fair as it could be. She was sure that wasn't true. The 2 dead men were undercover. 1 FBI, 1 DEA. The others? Who knew? But Ace probably did. He probably knew everything about all of them. You know the man you met, the one you played the game with? He said, as if reading her thoughts. The Joker, she replied without thinking. He laughed. That's as apt as any other description of Mr. Swade. He's my... well, we're related. Okay. Janice couldn't discern any resemblance. You saw how... Ace stopped. How he looks? Yes, she answered carefully. The teeth, the brows. God, the brows. Yes, she said again. Jack had... Mr. Swade got the worst of that encounter. I see. So you want revenge? Only partially. Jack has something I want. No, correction. Something I need. And events have dictated that now we have a deadline. A deadline? 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, I need to have Jack and have what he has. When I find him, what do I do? You call me. You tell me where he is. Then what? You stay with him until someone shows up. Then you're done. Done? Ace sighed. Look, Janice, you have no idea what is going on here, or what you've involved yourself in. I don't care about your little FBI and Gaming Commission investigation of whoever you're investigating. It will never, ever have an impact on me or my associates that we would notice. Once you find Jack, go back to your job. Do your thing, whatever that is. I'll stay away from you, and you... I stay away from you. I'd appreciate that, yes. I'd hate for us to encounter each other under different circumstances. Janice swallowed, but she knew she couldn't just go back to work on her old assignment. Not after this was done. The Joker had hinted at treasure, a prize greater than her life. It would be the biggest bust of my life, she told herself at the time. Or a way out. A way out. The line between good and evil, between the right side and the wrong one, was narrow, and there was such a large gray area in the middle. I'll do my best, she said out loud. I would recommend, my lady, that you do better than your best. If you fail, the next time we meet will be much less pleasant. He stood, indicating the meeting was over, and gestured to the steel door behind her, the one she'd entered the room through. She moved to hand him the Joker, the card that Mr. Swade had told her would only open this door once. Keep it, he said. It may come in handy in your search. It took her a few moments and a few scowls from security guards who stepped from shadows and pointed her in the right direction to find the casino floor. Ultimately, it was the sound that gave the location away. The clanging of slots drew her, the casino smell no longer mixed with cigarette smoke. Even when she got to the floor, she struggled to find the way out. There were not a lot of people at the machines, and she had no idea what time of day or night it was. Like a rat in a maze, she weaved between aisles of machines and worked her way to the entrance after a few false dead ends. She stumbled out into the daylight, early daylight, judging by the cool temperatures. She blinked, reached for her sunglasses, which were not on her head, and tried to get her bearings. It took her a moment, and then she searched her pockets. Her phone was there, but she had no idea how it had gotten there. 10 a.m. Ace had told her she had 2 weeks. She didn't even know Jack's last name, but he was recognizable. Someone had to know who he was, who he associated with. Bert, Red Hat, the man at the game, one of the survivors. He had been with Jack before. She didn't know his last name either. Janice knew one thing from her undercover experience. When you were in a corner, the only way out was to turn and walk the other way. Cynthia, she said out loud to herself, even if one ace knows my real name, not everyone does. She decided to head back to where she'd started, where she'd seen Bert the first time. If he wasn't there anymore, someone had to know where he'd gone. Thanks for listening to the Solitaire series, episode 26, The Queen of Clubs. Next up, the 10 of Clubs.